And with that being said, as of October 8th, 2022, an era has ended, and two of the best Cardinals of this generation, one of the greatest catchers of all time, and one of the greatest to ever play the game, their careers have officially ended. The book closed, and the mark they have left in baseball and with the St. Louis Cardinals organization is just spectacular. On October 8th, 2022, the Cardinals were eliminated from the playoffs after they lost to the Atlanta Braves in the wild card series. Which, of course, was sad because, like I said, a lot of other people, including myself, were kind of hoping for a St. Louis World Series victory as they have won the National League Central this year. And like I said, it was the last year for longtime Cardinal Yadier Molina and returning Cardinal Albert Pujols, who returned and both announced that 2022 would be their final seasons. Now, there is a third Cardinal that has not made anything official yet, and that is starting pitcher Adam Wainwright, who has also been with the Cardinals for a long time and is 41 years old. And him and Molina just recently did also break a record as well for having the most had the most like games as like as the battery mates and whatnot with the catcher and pitcher of all time. So to me, it seemed like a thing that Wainwright should have joined this party, in my opinion. But I respect the guy for not making a decision yet. He could make one later down the road, but as of now, he has not retired yet. But he probably will be testing free agency if he does not retire. You know what? If he does still, I think the Cardinals would still bring him back because he's not playing anywhere else. Where else would he go, though, you know? So, anyways. So, but yeah. Yadier Molina, Albert Pujols, both their careers ended. I'm sorry. It wasn't the Braves. It was the Phillies who had swept the Cardinals 2-0. They were blanked in both of their games that game. Both Pujols and Molina combined for 3 of the Cardinals' 7 hits. And then, of course, they both ended their careers with hits in their final at-bats, and both were lifted for pinch hitters. Again, definitely disappointing, but, you know, to see it happen there, but they both seemed very satisfied with it. First, let's start with Yadier Molina. One of the best, the best catcher probably the past 20 years. You know, before him, it was definitely Ivan Rodriguez. You know, we had other people like, you know, Russell Martin, Buster Posey, but Molina, he was a 9-time Gold Glove winner and owner of hundreds of big moments in Cardinals history, who announced last year that 2022 would be the final year of his career. It was not an easy road, though, this year, as he in late spring had a 6-week sabbatical midway through the season to rehabilitate his aching knee and batter's sight. And then when he made it back, him and Wainwright again became the winningest and most durable battery in history with 213 wins and 328 career starts as battery mates. And then Pujols, of course, you know, multiple time, you know, MVP winner, All-Star, you know, he got to come back home and get to the 700 club. And he also got to get to second on the all-time RBIs list as well. And this is a fun fact here, too. Pujols almost pulled the plug earlier this year. He did mention back in June, he almost retired. He almost pulled a Ken Griffey Jr. coming back for another season, and then like May or June, when obviously he wasn't hitting well or whatnot, he decided not to wait till the end of the year, and he hung it up and he hung up the cleats. Albert Pujols, though, remember, what was the legendary All-Star pick, and he got to compete in the Home Run Derby this year, and he put on a great showing, and he beat National League home run leader for the year in the end, Kyle Schwarber. and got past the first round, and he looked great. He then had the opposite effect of being in the home run derby. After a slow start the first half of the year, which by the All-Star break, I'm thinking, I don't think he's going to get to 700. He wasn't, I mean, at the beginning of the year, I thought he had a chance. Because I saw how he did with when he went over to the Dodgers in 2021 after being released by the Angels. And I'm like, okay, the designated hitter role is in both leagues now. I'm sure they'll give him a little more bats in that DH role. I think he has a good shot. I really was confident he had a good shot. And unfortunately, he wasn't producing well in the first half of the season. The second half, though, as lots of people say, he was the Albert Pujols of old. He would then, of course, go on a tear, and like rapidly before I knew it, went from like 687 to 693 to 697 to 698. And then on September 23rd, 2022, against the Los Angeles Dodgers, the team he had played for the previous year, and the city he had played in for, 9.5 seasons with the Angels? So he was in, well, of course, they're in Anaheim, but they're still the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Anyways, so he's still acknowledged. And, of course, everyone loves Albert Pujols. Except for me at one point years ago, but that's way, way, way back in the dark ages. But September 23rd, 2022, Pujols racked 2 homers that game, number 699 and number 700. And he would go on to finish with 703 home runs. And also a fun fact, home run number 702 was in his last at-bat in Busch Stadium. Albert Pujols hit a home run in his first at-bat in St. Louis and his last at-bat. Quite fitting. That's like almost like how Derek Jeter in 2014 hit a walk-off single in his final game at Yankee Stadium. Albert Pujols just came in with a big fly, went out with a big fly as well. So, I'm happy that Pujols did come back to St. Louis to finish off his career. I am happy he got the 700 home runs, as he definitely deserved. And he also got to finish it with one of his best friends and great teammates, Yadier Molina, as they both went out together. Both had outstanding careers. Pujols definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. Molina, I would say, may take 2 or 3 rounds, but I think Molina will get into the Hall of Fame as well. His defense alone, and he did have some, some postseason moments, some historical moments. He was an all-star. I think, from a catcher's position, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. But I don't know if he'll get on the first ballot. Then again, though, think about this. They will both be available for the Hall of Fame, for the first ballot of the Hall of Fame at the same time. Maybe that could open the door for people to want to vote for Molina. That way, him and Pujols could both go to the Hall of Fame at the same time, in my opinion. Like I said, Adam Wainwright is also the other guy who, he hasn't made a decision yet, like I said, but I still kind of think it would have been cool. Well, they did have the one game where they had all 3 get taken out of the game at the same time and get like a curtain call for all 3 of them, which was very nice. I still think it's kind of like an end of an era moment. It would be fitting for Adam Wainwright to retire, in my opinion, with 2 of his best friends. But if he doesn't again, I respect it. But I definitely am going to miss these guys. Again, I apologized years ago when I used to give both these men crap when I hated the Cardinals when I first started watching baseball because they're the best team in their division. But then again, the Pirates just suck and the Cardinals were just that good. Mad respect, though, for both these guys. They're 2 of the guys that definitely made the sport of baseball special to watch. And I wish them the best in their retirements. And, of course, also with Albert Pujols retiring, that means the game that first made me fall in love with baseball, Backyard Baseball of 2003, Albert Pujols, was the last player to finish his career from that game. So it's kind of an end of a generation for me as well. And of course, what's cool is there's several players in that game that went on to be Hall of Famers. We got guys like Vladimir Guerrero, Jim Thome, Chipper Jones. Trying to remember. Todd Helton's on his way there. He will get there. Derek Jeter, of course, was in the game as well. Jeff Bagwell, if I didn't mention him. There's probably a few others I can't think of off the top of my head right now. Ichiro is going to be a for sure Hall of Famer someday as well. I'm trying to think, of course, Frank Thomas was in there as well. Carlos Beltran is going to be on the ballot this coming year. I think he has a chance to get in too. A lot of future Hall of Famers in that video game, which I think is pretty awesome. And I think right now we have 2 Hall of Famers right here in this graph that we're talking about as well. So, again, congratulations on excellent careers to both these men. To the greats to step onto the field. And I do hope they get their rightful place in the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown in 5 years. And that's my thoughts, guys. And my congratulations again to Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina for great careers. What are your guys' thoughts on the careers of Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina? Do you have any specific memories you would like to share? Make sure you guys leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video. Subscribe, mark contact on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirBoy93. And as always, guys, please stay tuned for more baseball news on this channel. And I'll catch you guys later. Have a great night. Peace out, everybody.